In this video on leads within Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Sales, we're going to cover off the conversion settings. In other words, the options you've got for converting a lead to a contact, account or opportunity. Now this is one in a series we're doing specifically on leads. You can see links to others in the series below. Also, if you've got any suggested content ideas or you need any help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. So let's go into the system and have a look at the out-of-the-box settings. So I'm in the leads area at the moment. I've got some Dynamics test data in the system, and I've also added a test lead myself. I'm going to open that one up. We're going to display the out-of-the-box lead form. Obviously you would typically tune that to the needs of your particular business. And if I go to qualify in the top bar here, you'll see what the standard settings are. So I'm converting my lead at this stage. So leads, if you like, is a holding area, a staging data for data we want to verify before we commit it to the main database. Now the standard is that it will create an account, it will create a contact, and it will create an opportunity. Now that may not be what you want, particularly in terms of opportunities. Not everybody tracks opportunities in the system. Even if you do track opportunities, it might be too early to create an opportunity at the point you commit these records to the system. You might be happy creating a contact, you may be happy creating an account, but we're not at a point where we think there is necessarily a business opportunity. Equally, if you were in a business to consumer market and you weren't selling business to business, you may well not want to try and create account records or organization records within the system. So the default isn't necessarily going to work for a lot of people. In fact, I don't think it's going to work for most people. But you do have the ability to change the settings. So if I come out of this and I go into the bottom of my screen here and change the area from sales, and I change it to app settings, you'll see on the left hand navigation bar I've got leads and opportunities, and if I open that up it picks up lead qualification settings as the starting point. And this is the key here. We've got a record type of account, which is organization, contact, which is people, and we've got opportunities. And at the moment it's saying each of those is created automatically by the system, so you don't have any flex. So if I want the user or the seller to make the decisions, I can change it by moving the setting to the seller rather than it being automatic. Now for the sake of argument, I'm going to make the seller, or for the sake of illustration, let's say, I'm going to make the seller the person making the decision for all three of these. In practical terms, it might be in a B2C environment, you'll make the contact automatic, and account and opportunity might be for the seller to make the decision. It may well be in a B2B environment that you make account and contact automatic and just the opportunity to be determined by the seller. That is entirely up to you. A couple of other little settings here. One is let the seller create up to 5 opportunity from a newly qualified lead. I'll show you that in action. I am struggling to think what the use case is for that, but I'm sure there must be some. And then we've also got the ability to get Copilot to summarize key information once that lead is qualified. So I'll go with that and we'll just show how that revised setting manifests itself when you go and qualify a lead. So let's save that. Let's come out of app settings, change the area back to sales, and we'll go into the leads area. We'll open up test lead 1 again, go and qualify this. So if we click qualify, you can now see I've got quite a bit more flexibility. None of this is mandatory. So on the account record, I've got the option of creating a new one, as in Tesco. I've got the option to use an existing, so I can search the database and link to an existing organization if there is one, or I've got the option to create none at all. Again, with contact, I've got the same. And if I go to the, sorry, didn't mean to do that. If I go to the opportunity area, I can see I've got the ability to not have an opportunity at all, or to add up to 5 opportunity records for this lead. So this is something that you need to think through when you set up the system. I don't think for a lot of people the out-of-the-box settings are right. I think you want to have some flexibility by and large in terms of letting the seller or the user make the decision about how leads are converted, and not try and make everything mandatory. Anyway, hopefully that gives you some insight into the options that are available for converting leads to contacts, accounts and opportunities. As I say, it's one in a series we've done specifically on lead management within Microsoft Dynamics 365 Sales. You can see links to others in the series below. Also, if you've got any suggested content ideas or you need any help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. Anyway, thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully see you again soon.